How bad would the Capitals and Wizards at downtown exit hurt D.C.? Well, early research shows it adds a further downturn to D.C., and experts say that could mean thousands of jobs and millions of dollars leaving that area. Matt Gregory joins us now live from Capital One Arena. Now, Matt, I remember back in the 90s walking around in downtown D.C. and what it looked like before Abe Pollin spent $360 million in private funding for Capital One Arena to open in 1997, and it revitalized downtown. So the council has to be concerned if there is an economic void caused by these teams leaving.
Yeah, Wisdom, and this is just the latest hit to downtown. I mean, between COVID and this stands to be millions of dollars lost, like you were saying, and thousands of jobs. But I talked to Councilman Kenny McDuffie yesterday. He said D.C. still wants to try to change Monumental's mind about the move out of D.C., but part of that, he said, is also the fact that they want to keep the offer on the table. That's how they're going to try to entice Monumental to stay. But they are aware, everyone on the council is, of the potential financial hit to downtown. And right now, he says they need to be hyper-focused on what can be done in the future to protect downtown, because it has become one of the fastest growing areas since Abe Pollin built Capital One Arena here. So let's take you through what we've been doing so far. I talked to the executive director of the DC Policy Center. That's a think tank that focuses specifically on DC economics and DC policies. Now, the executive director pointed out that the impact of Capital One Arena since it was built in 1997 turned downtown DC into one of the fastest growing areas in the city. So here it is by the numbers. DC Policy Center reports that in 1997, there were 14 residential buildings in the half-mile radius around downtown. Now, it's around 28. In 1997, there were 69 restaurants in that same half-mile area, but today they're around 98. Still, before COVID, they reached a high of around 130, so clearly a fast-growing area. DC Policy Center also estimates that between COVID and the loss of the Wizards and Capitals, the total impact on downtown could be around 2,250 jobs lost and more than $76 million in sales annually. Now, remember, downtown still hasn't recovered from its pre-COVID numbers.
It brings an additional complexity to the downtown that's already ailing, and it's already pressured under the impacts of remote work and COVID-19 pandemic.
If we don't think about how to address that and really reimagine what downtown looks like with or without Capital One Arena and Monumental Sports, I think that's where the focus should be.
So you heard that right there from Councilman McDuffie. The focus should be there. But I also asked him, with the loss, the potential loss of the Wizards and the Capitals, as is the plan of Monumental Sports right now, does this intensify the quest to bring the Commanders back to the district to try to revitalize RFK? He said he believes all of these things can be done. The focus has to be, however, first on seeing what Monumental Sports is able to do, or if they can somehow keep the Wizards and Capitals here, and at the same time pivoting to see what can be done to bring the Commanders in, as well as having a functioning plan for a future revitalized downtown DC, because as you've seen, it's taken quite the hit between COVID and then this potential loss here of the Capitals and the Wizards. But for now, outside of Capital One Arena, I'm Matt Gregory. Back to you.
All right, Matt Gregory reporting. Let's talk more about these numbers and economic impact. Now, in the NFL, this is sports franchises. The St. Louis Rams moved from St. Louis to L.A., and the city estimated the losses in St. Louis around $100 million annually, plus another $15 million in economic development. Now, I posted a lot about this on my social media page, a couple of things about pro sports facilities. Should sports owners pay for their own facilities? Let us know what your thoughts are. Share your comments, WUSA9.com. On social media, here's a comment. Leon Bryant says, I always feel like the owners should pay, but we know they will hold the city taxpayers hostage and end up paying only a small percentage. And of course, we're keeping a close eye on the developments with Metro's $750 million budget gap, which also could impact the potential Monumental move. We have all our previous coverage streaming on WUSA 9 Plus right now. We also have it posted on WUSA9.com.